most people in other countries flip out when they say, you know, you got 26 years for fraud. Like, you can't get but 5 years in this country for that. Like, what you did, you would have gotten 3 years, or you would have gotten 10, but you would have only done 2, and they would have sent you home on an ankle monitor. Like, it's insane, the sentences we give out. Hey, this is Matt Cox, and I appreciate you checking out the video. We are going to be talking about the Brittney Griner sentence and Russian prisons, and just all around a basic conversation that we've had a little bit on and off for the last few days. And we're going to watch a video, too, of... Who are we watching a video of?
Lil Boosie.
Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie.
L-I-O-B-O-O-S-I-E.
Lil Boosie.
Lil Boosie.
Lil Boosie.
Boosie.
Boo with a Z?
S-I-E.
Boosie.
There you go.
Lil Boosie.
Boosie. Lil Boosie. Out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah, bro, I'm so fucking white.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. All right. So I'm. We're gonna do that, and fucking my shit's rolling. All right. Yeah. All right. And I'm here with John Boseak, and check out my paintings, and check out my Patreon, and check out all the other stuff that I got going on. And I appreciate you guys watching. So here's the video. So basically, everybody knows that. Everybody already knows that, you know, Brittney Griner is a
WNBA basketball player.
Yeah, basketball player.
Yeah,
and she's massive. She's like she's big. She's 6'9".
She's a tall lady.
I don't know. I saw something else that said she was 6'10", but whatever. Let's say that I just watched the news thing that said 6'9". Anyway, she went to Russia and she brought some. It's
she
not
had
even
a weed pen.
Weed pen, right?
Yeah.
So it's not even marijuana. It was the oil,
like a distillate. Yeah.
Okay, so she brought that. And the Russians arrested her, and they charged her with drug smuggling. Fucking, I mean, we're talking about a small amount.
Yeah, less than a gram.
Okay. So, and she was obviously, you know, everybody already knows that there have been petitions, and there have been people are begging Biden to help, you know, to contact, you know, Putin or the Russians and try and get her back. And then there was the possibility, I guess the Biden administration was even floating the idea of taking the Merchant of Death, which is the guy's name. It's his name is Victor. They said Bout, but I've always said Bot. But Victor Bot, which is like the Angel of Death. The guy, there's actually books written about this guy. He was arrested in, I want to say, like the Philippines or something like that, where he was trying to sell, or he'd been lured there, and there was a sting, and he was trying to sell. Basically, missiles that would shoot
surface-to-air missiles.
Surface-to-air missiles to shoot U.S. helicopters out of the air in Colombia to sell to FARC, and FARC is listed on our registration as a terrorist organization.
Sure.
And so the I don't know if it was the FBI or it was the DEA. They came in, or it might have been ATF. Anyway, one of the U.S. federal agencies arrested him there. He was arrested. He then filed with, like I said, I want to say it was in the Philippines. He filed with them, with their justice system, saying, "Look, I was legally selling arms in your country. I didn't violate your laws." And so when they went and they looked, they were like, "You're right. He didn't violate their laws. Victor Bot violated U.S. laws." And the U.S. said, "Well, it doesn't matter. He's violated our laws. We want him. You've arrested him." Like, yeah, but and based on our laws, we need to let him go. So they went all the way to I want to say their court system and maybe their Supreme Court. And the night before they were going to rule, and probably rule in their favor, because FARC is not a terrorist organization listed in the Philippines. If it's the Philippines, it may have been Malaysia. I don't know exactly where it's. Whatever, somewhere in Asia. The United States government comes into the prison, like the FBI or somebody. They come in, they hand him over, they rush him to a U.S. plane that was waiting, and they fly him into the United States. They fly him all the way to New York. When he gets to New York, he's unloaded in New York, and they say, "Okay, you're charged." Like, I mean, just completely circumvented their system, because they were afraid that they were going to say, "Yeah, listen, he didn't break any of our laws. We're not going to arrest him." So Victor Bot has sold arms to in every conflict for 20 years up until when he was arrested, whatever, 10 well, I guess it was what?
Is this the guy they made that movie after?
Yes, this is supposedly
the Nicolas Cage movie.
Yes,
No way.
The Lord of War. So, and when they even asked Bot about it, and Bot said he believed that Nicolas Cage deserved a better role. Like he felt like the movie was too over dramatized or whatever. Listen, guy's filthy rich.
Mm-hmm.
The Russian government, because we've wanted him forever. We even went to, he was actually on a Russian radio show one time when the FBI contacted the FSB and said, the guy is right now live on a radio. You can go right now and arrest him. He's there at the radio station. Mm-hmm. And they said he's not in Russia. We don't know where he is. You're like, what are you talking about? We're listening to him live right now. Here's the station. He just said it. Mm. We don't know what you're talking about. Like, they wouldn't arrest their own guy, right? Hey, I wanted to let you guys know that I have a Patreon account. If you're interested in joining the Patreon account, it's got 3 tiers. The top tier, you actually get a different con man painting every single month. If you're already joined and you're already supporting me, I really appreciate that. If you haven't joined yet and you're interested in joining, I'm going to leave the contact information for Patreon in the description. Thank you very much for watching the video. Back to the video. So anyway, I guess the whole thing is that they wanted to trade Brittney Griner and this former
journalist. Was he a journalist?
I thought the guy was an ex-Marine, but he was a journalist. He was an ex-Marine, or was he a current Marine or an ex-Marine? But he supposedly got into a fight with like a police officer. He assaulted a police officer, and they've arrested him. So they were saying, look, him, and I may have that wrong, but that guy and Brittney, they wanted to say, look, let's talk about trading him for Bot.
Right.
Bot's already done over 10 years. Mm-hmm. Like, we'll trade those two. He got 30 years. And they said, well, once she's sentenced, we'll discuss it. We'll talk about it. And well, she's been sentenced. So whether or not that happens or not, I don't know. But I know that, people are outraged because she was arrested for...
Yeah, less than a gram of weed oil, and she got 9 years.
Right.
So it seems to be more of a political statement than really,
Yeah, okay. Here's the way I look at it.
Plus, she's she's gay,
right? Which is
heavily frowned upon in Russia.
Right.
They don't like it. I don't know if it's illegal. I know it was illegal. I don't know if it is anymore, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know if it still is, but I know it was illegal.
Yeah. So
so that's an issue, and obviously there's just an issue in general with Russia and the Ukraine and the whole thing.
Yeah.
But that all of that aside, the fact is that people are screaming and hollering right now, how could she get fucking 9 years? And we're going to watch this video, but how could she get 9 years? But the fact is that our laws are brutal. In most countries, not most countries, but about half the countries out there have no conspiracy. Like, you and I could sit down and talk about robbing a bank, and we could plan it and discuss it and everything, and then you go out and rob the bank. Well, if I helped you plan it, then that's a conspiracy. I end up getting charged for conspiracy to rob a bank. Like, most of my charges were conspiracy to commit bank fraud, or conspiracy to, for wire fraud or whatever.
Yeah.
Lots of conspiracy. Most countries, about half the countries, don't even have conspiracy laws.
Yeah.
When they hear you were locked up because I planned this, or did you do it? No.
Like the ghost dope.
Exactly.
On all these, like, you conspired to traffic 15 kilos, so you get charged with 15 kilos of cocaine. Even though they never existed.
Right. I never
picked them up. I never bought them. I never sold them. I don't even know anybody who has 15 kilos, but yet you're getting charged with 15 kilos.
Oh, listen, I know a guy who talked with a DEA agent about cooking up like a kilo of crack. He's cooking up a kilo of coke and turning it into crack. Really, he was just planning on robbing the guy. He didn't even show up with the crack. He showed up to get the money to do it, and they arrested him.
Puig?
No.
Oh.
No. Puig was... He was...
his case was he was gonna...
yeah, but he was also a big drug dealer, too. He was dealing drugs. It was all... This guy was just a robber. He wasn't going to cook up crack. He's just an idiot. He's talking with the guy openly about it. They charged him with the drugs. But there never was any drugs. It was just a robbery. He was just trying to get him to bring the money. Nope, we're going to hit you with the money, the robbery, and the drugs. But there was no drugs. I didn't have the crack. I never did it. I was just trying to get this guy to show up with $20,000 for the key.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Like I know lots of guys what they'll do is people don't understand like ghost dope. So I get caught selling whatever, you know, half a key or whatever, a quarter of a key of coke. Let's say I sell it to a DEA agent. Then 2 weeks later, I sell it another one. So that's half a key. Well, then whoever the other conspirators are involved, they say, yeah, man, he's been selling drugs for 2 years. So what they do is they say, okay, well, let's see if that's a full key he's been selling every month. That's 12, or sorry, that's half a key every month. That's 6 keys a year. For 2 years, that's 24 kilos of cocaine. First of all, you don't know there was.
Yeah, they should have to prove all of that. Yeah, but they should have to prove that.
They should have to, but they don't. That's ghost dope. Where it's like, no, that was the biggest order I ever had. Nope. Well, we can already prove that you've been doing it.
Yeah.
You did twice.
Well, that's the war on drugs in this country. It's just an overreach by the government and all of the other local municipalities to kind of squeeze funding and all kinds of other shenanigans out of fucking the government.
But I'm saying it's across the board. We have more people locked up than any other country
on the planet.
On the planet.
Yeah.
We have 5% of the world population. We have out of everybody that's locked up, 25% are locked up in federal prison.
Well, Russia's number 2.
Russia's number 2.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is our sentences are draconian. They're fucking outrageous. And this woman went to Russia and she broke their law. Most people in other countries flip out when they say, you know, you got 26 years for fraud. Like, you can't get but 5 years in this country for that. Like, what you did, you would have gotten 3 years, or you would have gotten 10, but you would have only done 2, and they would have sent you home on an ankle monitor. Like, it's insane, the sentences we give out. So to me, is that sentence insane? Yeah, it's crazy, but that's their law. Like, if you want other people to respect our law, which I think is ridiculous too, then you can't say much about the 9-year sentence, which to me, in my opinion, that's nothing. Not 9 years. I'm saying the pen, the amount she was using it for personal use. That's not smuggling.
That's, you know.
I mean, I agree.
That's why I feel like it's political.
Oh yeah.
There's no way. I mean, it's pretty blatantly obvious that it's a very minor offense. No matter what your strict policies are on drugs, you know.
But maybe in Russia that's common.
The sentence for that much?
Is it? Like, that's what I'm saying. Is like nobody said actually that's a normal sentence. Yeah. You can get the death penalty for fucking drugs
in China.
No, in Russia.
Can you?
Remember, she was fucking pleading for her life. Well, I think you can get whatever. You can get like a life sentence. She was pleading for her life. Like, please don't. You know, that's what, when we watched that one program, that's what she was saying to the judge. Like, please, you know, she was begging for her life. Like, don't give me a life sentence. Hey, if you guys didn't know, I also do paintings, and if you're interested in a painting, I'm going to leave my contact information in the description beneath the video. Back to the video. What's the maximum you can get the death penalty for murder in Russia, but most of the time it's between 8 to 20 years.
8 to 20 years.
Anyway, so you want to watch this video?
Oh yeah, this is we got Lil Boosie. He's
I would like to say I wanted to play an ABC News feed on the Brittney thing.
That's not as fun.
I was overruled.
That's not as fun.
This is what we came up with.
This is way more entertaining.
This is boseak, like, absolutely not. This is the way to go. Lil Boosie.
How the hell this girl get 9 years for a weed pen? And the USA ain't doing nothing about it. You tell me that. If that was Taylor Swift, it'll be a peace treaty right now.
What?
A peace treaty?
It'll be a slight, they'll be drafting to go to war. For a weed pen. 9 years. What that show for black women in the United States? And the vice president, as a black woman, you supposed to be on the front line. You supposed to be on the front line to get that black woman out of jail.
Is Harris saying anything?
9 damn years.
I haven't heard anything.
Y'all fucked up in this world.
Yeah, so he made some valid points.
I can't. Yeah, I just watched that. I didn't even watch that before. That was, I mean, okay. Okay. Listen, the other thing is I was going to mention is, and I saw this because this is the one, and then we'll talk about the prison system, but where I had read that, or there was that article that was talking about how to protest police brutality, she and her teammates were like refused to be
on the court.
She wouldn't be there for the national anthem.
And see, this is where I don't understand that situation, is that national anthem has nothing to do with the police in this country. It's got but everything to do with like being proud to be an American.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, just because the police in this country are fucked up, and not all of them, like some of them are fucked up, obviously, but not all of them. Just be like, there's some, you know what I mean? Like, maybe okay, let's say it even is an overwhelming majority of police officers are fucked up, and I
disagree,
you know,
but yeah,
and you know, blacks are disproportionately arrested and harassed and beat and killed by police officers. Let's say that that's 100% true, which, you know, I haven't seen the numbers. I mean, obviously there's something going on there.
Many statistics that say that that's not really what's happening.
But let's say that's 100% true.
Okay.
What does protesting the national anthem got to do with that, with anything? Like, I never understood that. I never really made the connection between those two.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I think by protesting the national anthem, you're saying fuck.
You're saying you don't want to be an American.
You're anti-American. It's all that anti-American sentiment. I don't understand. Like, yeah, the government's fucked up, but the government isn't what makes America America. Right. Like, the police officers, like, in this country aren't what make America America. The people in this country are what make America America, and we're overwhelmingly fucking, you know, good to each other.
Yeah, I think we're
you know what I mean? Like, as Americans, we all, you know, when you take away government, when you take away fucking race, or, you know, what sports team you fucking root for, or all that other fucking, you know, dogmatic bullshit, when you boil it all down to the very core of it, dude, we're just fucking people living in this country. Everybody's got families they're trying to feed. Everybody's just trying to do what they're trying to do. So all that anti-American sentiment for fucking trying to make a statement, you know, and all that, you know, leftist bullshit is just, to me, is complete fucking insanity, and it makes absolutely no sense.
Well, here's the thing. Let's assume that she is like, no, I am anti-American. I don't like America. I hate this country. I hate the way it treats black people. I hate the brutality of the police, which are all, by the way, individually funded throughout the counties fund the county sheriffs and the police, and then there's the state police, and then there's the federal government. Like, these are all separate entities. But let's assume that they were all together, and then it's all representative of America, and you hate America. So that's what you're saying when I won't salute for the flag. I'm going to take a knee. I'm not going to be on the court. Fuck the United States. So if that's what you're saying, then why are you now pleading for the United States to come to your rescue? Please help me. Well, what do you mean help you? Why aren't you pleading to one of these other countries that are so much better than America? Like, are there tons of other alternatives out there?
Yeah.
So that kind of bothers me. I mean, look, I don't think she should deserve 9 years. That's outrageous.
That's outrageous.
Fucking ridiculous. But you know, and look, and it wouldn't matter. I don't care if she's fucking black, you know, Hispanic, a white male, gay, straight. Like, I don't give a shit. It's a pen full of just, you know, oil.
It's less than a gram. Yeah, that's not drug smuggling. If anything, it's personal use, possession of marijuana, where it's 100% illegal. That doesn't warrant a decade in prison. No. That's complete insanity.
And then so
obviously it's political. Obviously they're pulling a stunt, and they're trying to, you know, make a point. You know, maybe they did this to try and get the merchant of death, or whatever he's called. Maybe this is a chess move by Russia to be like, you know what? Yeah.
So here's the nice thing is, you know, is that the you know, much like the Scandinavian prison model the Russians are at that same level, and they run a very nice, clean prison system.
Oh, it's like an IKEA. It's like walking through an IKEA.
Yeah, that's what like the Scandinavian model is, as opposed to the Russian.
Isn't there a guy over there in there for murder, but he works at like a grocery store in town? He got a life sentence, but he gets to go out to work every day, but he's just got to come back to the prison.
No. He got like 22 years. The guy that killed 86 fucking people,
children and everything, right?
Children, camp members or counselors of a camp of a political. They have like a political or camp that teaches you how to be a politician. Children, everything. 80, I want to say it was 86 of them, he got maximum sentence in Norway, 22 years. And if you saw where he lives in, basically looks like an IKEA. Looks like it was furnished by IKEA. And it's just a super nice little place. Gets to leave, gets to go, has a regular job, has to stay there. Family can come and visit. You know, as opposed to that model, which is basically the way the way the Scandinavians look at it, is that if you've committed a crime in Scandinavia, which is, you know, Sweden, Norway, what is it, Denmark, anyway, those basic countries, if you've committed a crime there, that they as a society have failed you. And it's their job to help kind of re-educate you in a really soft Scandinavian way and integrate you back into society. Like you live like really well in prisons.
Well, listen, their populations are extremely low over there, and they're frozen into their homes for 9 months out of the year. So, but it's a completely different fucking social structure.
You know, and like I wanted to make a joke that like the Russians are the same way, but obviously it's they're fucking horrible. Like it's a brutal prison system. Yeah,
they were all built in the Stalin era. Like, so it was like the Russian gulag from like Soviet era. Fucking, it's wild. Like the prisons over there are just
like
brutal.
Shawshank.
Yes.
And you know, it's brutal. They're basically run by, what was the name of the company that runs almost all the prison systems?
FSIA.
Like they run them like so that they're what kind of like Unicor, only this is like, was it like,
well, they had penal colonies in Russia,
right? So it's like 30...
actual penal colonies like they used to have here in the United States in like the 1800s,
right?
They had that over there to this day. Like you go and you just, that's what you do. You work every day from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. They pay you like between $6 and $80 a month, like between 400 and 5,000 rubles or whatever it is, Russian rubles.
And you live off of that, and
yeah, you know, you live off of that, and you just work, and most of it is textiles, manufacturing. So yeah, you know.
And we have a version of that in the federal system here. It's called Unicor, but you don't have to work there. And you know,
guys fight over them jobs.
Yeah, but and you can make like $350, $400.
Yeah, that's the difference between in Russia, in different countries, they put you to work. In the United States, those people fight over those. Prisoners are
they
fucking.
They want the job.
They're fighting each other to go fucking work those jobs to get that little $12 a month or whatever the fuck it is they give you.
No, some of those guys, if they've been there a while and they're grade 1, they can get up to like $350, $400. But that you got to be there years. But they're on average they'll make $80. But that's the low end. That's at Unicor. That's why they fight over those jobs. But still, they desperately want them.
And I don't think it's about the money. I think they just want something to do all day.
Oh yeah, listen.
They don't want. Yeah.
Guys talk about how quick their time will go because they get to work a job. Like that's a big problem. You know that it's boring as fuck all.
What was the black guy's name? The company guy used to wake up every day, fucking like 4 a.m. Put his fucking have his greens on, pressed, ready to go to Unicor, and sit in his fucking room in a chair, and just wait for the fucking.
Is that the same guy that
he was housed over there with?
It's the same guy that used to go to R&D and Kiss R&D. Do you remember that? That's the same guy. Tall. He ran a bunch of nightclubs that were selling drugs.
He sat right by the door in the TV room, in our TV room.
Yeah. Oh no, that's another guy. That's right.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking about because I remember
that was his spot. He came in, he sat there, he with his chair, and he watched TV. He was the only black guy that would come in our TV room and watch TV with us.
Yeah.
He was housed with what's the guy that liked to massage the young boys?
Oh, Stu.
Yeah. He was over there with Stu.
Stu's been in prison for 30 some odd years, and he'd gotten out before. Got out. Robbed a bank while he was in the halfway house and went right back to prison.
And didn't he shoot himself in the arm one of the robberies?
He had been, I would love to say that, Stu had been shot 3 times, twice by himself. He literally would go, he'd have the gun, he'd go to rob drug dealers, he'd go to grab the bag or the money or whatever, and if they yanked back, boom, he'd pull the trigger, shot himself once here, shot himself once. Once in the arm or twice in the arm. I think he shot himself twice in the arm and then once in the leg because he robbed so many drug dealers that when they would see him coming, they just pull out their guns and start shooting at him. So he actually was walking into an alley one time to rob some drug dealers. They pulled out, boom, boom, boom. He turned around to run and he got shot in the back of the leg. These are good times.
Yeah.
Good times. So their prison system is dirty.
It's rough.
It's rough, but she's a big old girl.
Oh, I think she'll do just fine over
yeah,
there. And I don't think they're gonna have her put her with anybody anyway. They're gonna have her, you know.
They don't want her to get hurt.
No, they're because she's a bargaining chip. She's not, you know, she. All of this is for a reason, you know. So they're not gonna let anything happen to her. They're gonna keep her in, you know, relative.
That fucking joint.
Listen, they turn her loose in that goddamn prison. Who knows what's fucking liable to happen?
She's
huge. She's
right?
She's a big old girl. Yeah, and you know, she's a gay. So what are you gonna do?
She may have a harem of women. She may not want to leave. She may want. Listen, 2 years from now, when this whole thing's wrapped up,
she'll be applying for citizenship.
Yeah, listen. The big thing is first of all, she's being held right now in kind of like a holdover, which sucks. But once you get to prison, you get a routine. You know, after a year or two, it's not that bad. Because once your expectations of life are lowered, you should start enjoying the little tiny things. And she'll get a routine, and she won't be in the agony that she is absolutely in right now. Right now, she's ready to fucking slit her wrists. But a year or two goes by, and you're like, eh. And then, well, what about game time?
I don't think they have any of that over there.
Yeah.
From everything I've read in the preceding 5 minutes before this episode, I don't think that. I don't think they have game time. I don't think they have good time. I don't think they have any of that. Right. I think you just fucking serve your sentence. I like I said, could be wrong.
No, well,
that information isn't readily accessible. So you would think if there was anything like that it would have been in the first 2 search pages of Google, which it was not.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, you know what we didn't look is parole. Do they have parole? So in the federal system, you have to do 85% of your time.
Which is about 10 months on every year.
Yeah. But you can do up to a year in a halfway house, right? So or 10% of your sentence.
If you've been down fucking like 20 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or 10%, which is no more than 10% of your sentence.
Yeah.
So, but every state is different. A lot of states have the very similar system, but some states say, look, you can do 30% of your time and then apply for parole. But there is no parole in the federal system. The problem is people see those movies like Goodfellas, and they were in federal prison. They got parole because they had parole at that time.
Man, when I was first getting sentenced, I was going through the system with 2 guys that were like the last 2 guys on parole in the federal system. Like I was fucking getting transferred around with those guys.
Fuck. Yeah, that would have been nice. Do 30%, and now you're in front of the parole board. And I was a white collar criminal too. I would have been like, they would have let me right out.
Yeah,
that's not what happened though. So, all right, what else you got? So she's got some problems. No good time. So no time off.
I think. Well, if the sentence was actually like a serious sentence that she actually committed the crime, then I would think that she have something to worry about. But I think that this whole thing is political, and they're just using her as like some kind of bargaining chip to, you know, either get the merchant of death back or whatever else they're gonna do. But it's all political, and I think that she'll be home probably within the next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think maybe within the next year, 2 years, she'll be home. I think they'll have something worked out.
Victor Bout arrested. When was he arrested? 2008. Man, he's done over 10 years. He's going on 15 years by the DEA. And it was where they Thailand. What did I say?
I don't remember.
Whatever. I said Thailand. Okay, so all right. Yeah, so basically I think they probably were trying to trade him for Victor Bott because Biden's getting so much heat over it. And I think Harris will fucking pitch in and push him, and you know, if he even is alive and functioning when we release this video. He may already not even be around anymore. I appreciate it. I appreciate you doing this, and you know, all right. So if you like the video, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel and hit the like button and hit the notification bell so you get notified of videos like this. And do me a favor and leave me a comment in the comment section. I try and respond to as many comments as I can. I do it probably 30 minutes to an hour a day. Don't get to all of them, but I try. And I appreciate it. And do me a favor and check out my second channel, which is Inside the Darkness. And John Boseak just did a great video on there, and I've done a video, and I've got like 10 or 11 additional videos. You got to check out Boseak.
Plug my channel.
Boseak, and Boseak's video, by the way, Same video. He posted the same video I posted
on my channel.
Only I feel I did it much more artistically. I put pictures in there and all kinds of stuff. He didn't want any of that.
Yeah.
He got like 20,000 views, and my channel didn't get. It's got 500 or 600 views. It's climbing, but you got like 20,000 views on it.
Yeah,
but see, that's your group of guys.
Yeah,
they already like you, so the algorithm saw a bunch of people watching it, and it's like the best version of your story you've ever told.
And that's what everybody says as well. They said that people have heard my story on different podcasts. I've told it on Softwood Underbelly. I've told it on Concrete Podcast, and various others. And I think that this is the most comprehensive version I've told to date.
No, when I watched it, when like Jess kept coming by, and when I was editing it, and I watched it, she goes, "How do you do?" I was like, "Bro, honestly," I said, "This is like there are stuff that I wished you had gone over, but it's still 2 hours long."
And I kept looking at the cameras, and the time kept running out on the video card. So I kept running down. I was getting down to like the 30-minute mark, and I was like, "Oh, there's a fork in the road here. I need to take." I could keep going on this and elaborate on this, or I can just start winding it down. So I had to start winding it down because I only had 30 minutes of tape left.
I got to get bigger cards. I have to get bigger cards because they hold like 2 hours and 30 minutes or something, and you were like 2 hours and 5 minutes or something. But